Now, it's a fact that culture is very different here in India when it comes to the care of our parents. In several other cultures, well, individuals aren't as particular, let's say that, about the care and well being of their parents after they reach old age. This is something that is very key to our heritage and our upbringing. And so it is important to talk about the financial aspects of that. No one is suggesting that, well, individuals will not care for their parents, but we believe that talking about finances and understanding what you need to do to plan for your parents' old age will hold you in good stead. Joining me now to talk about this is Amit Kukreja, the founder of Amit Kukreja Advisory. Thank you so much, Amit, for taking the time. Let's start with the first step, which is a lot of us now are reaching the age where our parents have perhaps just retired. Now, understandably, our parents have made provisions for their retirement. They have the financial wherewithal in several cases to take care of several years. But the thing also is that life expectancy has gone up quite significantly over the last several decades, and it's possible that they haven't covered the number of years that they need to cover. So do you think that it's important for individuals that are around the age of 30 or thereabouts for them to start planning for the next 15 years, 20 years?
Absolutely, Alex. If you are young, you can absolutely plan for whatever age you want to plan for. And just the awareness of how to use your money to create a good life for yourself matters a lot. The awareness will plant a seed, and then you can get into the real planning work that you need to do for creating your financial well-being. So, irrespective of your age, irrespective of your life stage, you can always plan for things. You can always create the life of your dreams and the life of your desires, and accordingly identify an expert who you can work with to create that dream life that you have been aspiring for.
Thinking about it from the perspective of uh, people who are around the age of 30, Amit, who would like to care for their parents in their old age. You have financial goals, for example, like your own retirement or building a house or planning for your children. Should there also be a goal that you set to set aside a certain amount of corpus to say that I will need this to take care of my parents when they reach a certain age?
And it's a very pertinent question, Alex, especially in Indian cultural context, because in India we see parents going out of their way to support their children to make sure their children become financially and overall an independent personality. We see parents doing a lot of sacrifices to make sure that their children are well established. When we have received so much as children, there is obviously natural responsibility on our shoulders to give it back to our parents and ensure that during the prime years when they made it happen for us, then we need to make sure that during their the last leg in their life, or the age where they need a lot of support, they are given the adequate support so that they can be happy and they can still be doing and living a fulfilling life. Can we as youngsters, can we as middle-aged individuals have a financial goal to take the good care of our parents? Absolutely. It's an overall function of what all things matter to you the most, and how do you want to plan for those things that matter to you the most. So work with your spouse, and if you're an independent person, then work just with an expert to see what you can do in terms of identifying their needs. These needs could be emotional, logistical, mental engagement, intellectual stimulation needs for your parents who are in 60s and 70s. Identify what they would need, or identify what they need if they are already in that age, and what is the financial support required to help them fulfill their needs, and how you can then on a monthly, annual basis plan for those financial chunks that can help them create a fulfilling life. So absolutely you can work on it, and absolutely you should support them, especially if they have gone out of their way to make sure you had a good educational foundation to become a thriving individual in your career.
Talk about certain key points that you need to bear in mind then, Amit. Assume that um I'm coming, so I'm around 33 years old, and I have parents who have just retired. So my dad's around 65. I come to you and I say, look, my dad's got his finances in order. till the time that he's beyond 75, and they're taking care of everything right now. But what are the 4 or 5 things that I need to plan for? For example, medical contingencies. Right now, he's got medical cover, but I'm assuming when he gets older, that's going to be something that I need to take care of. What about care in terms of people who are helping out at home? What about things that they will need in terms, do I need to account for a monthly stipend at some point of time? So what, according to you, are the few things I need to allocate money for right now so that I can use that 15 years from now?
Yeah. Yeah. So, um, and when you say use them 15 years from now, your parents are already 65, Alex, right? Is that what you say? Is
That's
that what you
exactly
said?
right. So I'm thinking of how much will I need to account. The most important question in my mind, Amit, is
Yeah.
how much money will I need to set aside over and above my own financial goals so that I'm in a position to give them everything and more that they need.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So very simple. You will have to do a calculation of what is their cost of living as of now. What is it that they need to maintain the current standard of living, the current lifestyle? And based on that cost of living, you can easily do a simple calculation. If that cost is to be earned as an interest income, then what is the principle? For example, if their cost of living is 15 lakhs and you need that 15 lakhs every year to support their lifestyle, then if you're parking that money in fixed deposits and that 15 lakhs is coming as an interest income from the fixed deposit, and if the fixed deposit rate is 5%, then you need 3 crores. You need 3 crores as of today that you can park in a fixed deposit, which will generate 5% per annum, and 3 crores will give you 15 lakhs. That is good interest income to take care of the cost of living for the parents. Obviously, you need to work with a professional to inflation adjust this to what this cost will become 15 years from today, and what is that principle that is required 15 years from today that needs to be accumulated through a monthly investment option between now and 15 years. So you do the SIP calculation, and since you have a 15-year horizon, you can easily park the money in equity markets, and then within 15 years this corpus gets ready, which will take care of the cost of living of the parents 15 years from today. But when this money becomes available for supporting them, you have to make sure the money is safe, the money has a good yield, which is generating income in a tax efficient manner. It has an inflation beating element in it. It is also covering for their medical exigencies. And also, this money is safe. You know, there is a very high sense of security because we can't afford to lose this money. It is earmarked for a very important goal earmarked, which is our parents well-being. So these are financial parameters on which I would start my planning to have the corpus ready to support my parents.
So that kind of sets the ball rolling. Now, the other aspect, Amit, to bear in mind is that while I need to, for example, in this discussion, I need to set up maybe 3 crore corpus in 15 years. I start working towards that. But at the same time, my father has worked through his career. He has assembled a certain amount of corpus, and from his perspective, he wants to be self-sufficient. So he may not have the kind of knowledge that I have on financial products, so I may be better placed to read about things. Do I then get involved and help him make certain financial decisions? Are these conversations that you would encourage people my age to have with their parents, to say, Dad, are you okay? Papa, are you okay with the corpus that you have for the next several years?
These are the conversations which are an outcome of how healthy your relationship is with your parents. If your parents have been candid with respect to discussing financial affairs with you, then I don't think these conversations will face any obstacles. You can have these conversations anytime that, look, I know you have a corpus set aside, and if you're absolutely fine discussing this with me, let me try help you how you should use this money to live the quality of life which is always better than what you're living right now, or actually equal to what you're living right now. And if there is any shortfall, then I'll be happy as a child to support you bridge that shortfall. So if you have a good healthy relationship, you can do these financial affairs discussion anytime. If you don't, then these conversations would require to happen, because look, they have to think about assets. If they are not around anymore, then how are these assets safeguarded and well protected and passed on to the people who they care for once they are gone? So these conversations should start happening if they have not been happening. And only when you are showing your authentic interest in terms of their well-being, the focus of the conversation is their well-being, their happiness, their good quality of life, I don't see a reason why they would not open up and start discussing financial affairs with you. So whenever there is candid candid environment at home, when they realize that the person, that my children, my child are genuinely caring about my well-being, let me share with them what I have. Let me share with them what surpluses I have, what shortfalls that I have, and if they'll be able to support me and help me. A lot of emotional, logistical, intellectual stuff will get uncovered when you start doing these conversations. And I see that these are possible, they are doable, and it's very healthy that you start doing these conversations sooner without showing interest in what you are likely to receive if they are not around, rather than showing more interest around and genuinely putting in effort in making sure their well-being is not compromised, their well-being is non-negotiable, and they will always be well taken care of irrespective of their age. So you need to play, and you need to keep all these factors in mind when you're doing these conversations.
Very important points that you're raising, in fact, because that is why ultimately this is a touchy topic at some homes, because it's not necessarily the easiest thing to talk about. You don't want to talk about a time when you are no longer there. So therefore, this becomes a bit of a touchy topic. But having said that, our current context, and I spoke about culture and heritage right at the start of the chat, but our current context, Amit, in several situations is that we live apart from our parents. Um, in many situations, we live maybe in a different city altogether. So while we want to be there and we want to provide a certain amount of assistance, that is not necessarily available. And the second aspect that comes about is that when you start having these conversations with your parents, they tend to get a little frightened about the prospect of so many years I need to take care of this much amount, and therefore I will cut down on my expenses. How do you draw the balance in that shortfall that you spoke about? For example, if you're saying that your mom is saying, oh, I will go to the gym but I won't go swimming because I don't want to pay the monthly amount to go for swimming, how do you bridge that gap?
Yeah, yeah. Very relevant questions, Alex. Thanks for bringing these up. These are the things which need to be addressed in today's times a lot, given that we as children have built good capacity to take care of them. Here is a framework that I would suggest, and here is a suggestion on the table also to nudge them to live the kind of the quality of life that they would want to. Divide their goals into two: the life care goals and the lifestyle goals. Assuming they have the financial sufficiency or financial capacity to take care of themselves, assuming the mathematics financial plan has been done, that they have money that can take care of their quality of life. Speak to them, create two buckets: the lifestyle goals and the life care goals. Life care goals are goals which will require money to keep their emotional, mental, intellectual well being high. This could be fitness, this could be yoga, this could be meditation, this could be friendship, this could be even weekend parties that helps them feel good about what they are living. The lifestyle goals are basically goals which will take the money into creating a logistical support system, the kind of mates, the kind of driver, the kind of vehicle, the kind of amenities you need in the apartment complex where they live. So if you're away from them, you have to make sure that the lifestyle goals and the life care goals are both addressed. Emotional level conversations need to happen. Look, you need to do these things which are life care goals. If you don't feel good, if you don't feel happy, if you're not fit, then it's likely that you will not start perceiving value in the quality of life that you're living, and you might underperceive it. You need to have a good emotional, mental, intellectual well-being. So nudge them, influence them to pursue their intellectual goals, their mental stimulation goals, their emotional engagement with their friends, social interaction. If that costs them money, so be it, because they will be prolonging their life and there will be a good use of the money that they have. And on the lifestyle side, make sure they have the right support system at home, the right medicine, the right set of medical practitioners, the right set of maids, driver, cars, amenities that they need. So once you do these deeper conversation addressing their life care goals, the lifestyle goals, the kind of environment they should be living in, and once you start visiting them more frequently, making sure that you have a good human touch with them, either online or physical, a lot will start to change. It might be a gradual process. It might become difficult for some of the people who are not easily available, but it works. And when they see the genuine care coming from you towards them, they will open up even more. They will start seeking help. They will start offering help. You don't know how things may change, but it will work out really well if you're involved with them in their day to day living, involved with them in good care, good keeping, good caregiving for them. Things will just change for them.
Right.
That's my 2 cents on this subject.
Absolutely, absolutely. Amit, thank you so much for taking the time, and hopefully a lot of our viewers have benefited from this. Do write in, by the way, if you have any points that you want to raise, or if there's specific points that you'd like help with. Amit, thank you so much for taking the time.
Pleasure.